So hi guys, so this is the final episode in the Heroin series, sorry. Long awaited, I know, I do apologise. Sort of a lot of things have been happening on my main channel, the Flying High, Living Low on the YouTube. A lot of Jay Slater sort of videos were going up, so I thought I'd have a go at that myself. But yeah, so welcome back everybody. And so let's kick it off. Welcome back to Tall Black Tales. So we've covered the signs that what to look for in a loved one. If you think your loved one's sort of using heroin or drugs, mainly heroin is what we're covering though. I spoke about sort of withdrawal and the way it feels when you don't have heroin. So today we're going to sort of cover what can you do for a loved one, during this horrendous time in their life. This is something that, they'll never forget. So how do you get an appointment at your local drug place? Well, the answer is as simple as this. You just ring up and for yourself, and ask for an appointment. It's simple as that. So that's the first step to getting your life, to getting the life back. And first step in, to getting closer to the end result. Now this thing, it's not going to happen overnight. And if you don't make it the full journey the first time round, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make you a weak person. It makes you human. As we're not robots. We've got real brains, and we're not programmed to think, oh, that's it. Switch off. I'm not going to be a drug addict anymore. I'm not going to withdraw from drugs. I'm not going to have any cravings, because that is just not how it is. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, with all the love and support of your family, with all the help things online, listening to this, it's going to be, because it's not. It's going to be one of the most horrendous and hardest things you've ever done in your entire life. But it will be worth it. It will be worth it. So you're not sat here like me at 42 years old dying because I spent so many years smoking drugs. You don't want that. You don't want that. Believe me, you don't want that. So once you've sort of got your first appointment, and it will give you a chance to sort of tell the worker, the prescriber. My dog's walking all over my laptop, guys. Sorry. The person who prescribes you sort of your substitute, basically. You're going to be truthful. Tell them exactly what you're using. If you're using 10 bags of heroin, tell them you're using 10 bags of heroin. Don't tell them you're using 5. Don't start this journey on a lie. It's not worth it. If you tell people, this is where I'm at, this is probably what I'm going to need. Because even though they were, they're sort of tied to a little bit of guideline, and, we prescribe, say, so many mils for equivalent to, say, a bag of heroin, they will sort of listen to you. There will sort of be a little bit of elastic give, in it. This process is obviously, it's the first step, and people say the first step, oh, you've done all the hard work. You fucking haven't, guys. You haven't. It's easy going to that appointment. You're not rattling. God, I don't know why people say it, to be fair, because it's one of the easiest things. You go in there, it hasn't yet started. You're still using heroin. Your life's not changed. You're literally just sat in an appointment. So although the first step is admitting it and getting help, this is not a easy step. No, this is not a hard step, rather. It's an easy one, So, you're going to be set onto your journey of sort of recovery. What to expect is you'll sort of get one-to-one support, tell you about group therapy, support for families involving them directly in your recovery, because that is important. If you've got a network support network of what makes up family, then, get them involved. There'll be sort of like offering health and well-being checks, blood pressure, vaccinations, things like that. Your detox, obviously, and your suitable medication, expect all that. Needle exchange is at these places. Recovery support, groups activities, volunteer training if you want to sort of, you've not got a job and you want to keep busy, because that's the main thing. That's one of the main things as well. At your first appointment, you'll meet your worker, who will sort of assess your needs and establish the best support for you. And the key worker is there to support you and reach your goal. And that can't be done unless, like I say, you tell the truth and tell them what you want. Tell them what you think is going to work. They will listen to you, believe me. And it's about what you feel will work as well, because although there's like little guidelines and stuff for things like this, everybody's different and different things work for different people. So, and they're aware of that. So, it's you and your journey. And, it's extremely hard to get off heroin. Extremely. So, it's not like no, you've got to do it this way. It's whatever sort of, within reason, what's going to work for you. And that's the most important thing. And for the loved ones, if they do relapse, it isn't really a big deal. Don't make it a big deal. They didn't get overnight a heroin addict, so they're not going to get clean overnight from it. The cravings are always going to be there. The pull's always going to be there. And it'll be there probably till the day they die. Because it's been their comfort blanket for so long. And, even if they haven't been on it years and years and you've just caught it early enough, that pull's going to be there as much for them as it is for somebody who's been on it years, because they're still kind of enjoying it in a way. Although they don't enjoy withdrawing, they do sort of enjoy the way it makes them feel. The little security blanket, and the cold nights and stuff. It's hard, and you can't sort of bring any emotional blackmail into it. I've heard it all before. If you love me, you'd get off it. Why don't you just stop? And you just feel like shaking that person, saying, just effing stop. Are you actually real? Do you know how it feels? No, you don't. And I can't express that unless you have actually gone through a heroin withdrawal. You cannot really understand it. You can say, oh yeah, I've had stomach cramps, and I know what they feel like, and yeah, of course you know what a runny nose feels like, and cramps, of course you do. But you don't when it's like very contradictory, isn't it? I'm sounding there, but make sure that you sort of attend all groups with your loved one. That you're going through a lot of the detox with them, and it's like you're going through it with yourself as well. But ultimately, you're not the one who is coming off heroin. You're not the one who's going to have all the sleepless nights. You're not the one who's sort of lost all their friends, even though they're not really friends. But you see them as that, as heroin addict. You see them as friends, and you're changing your whole lifestyle. Your whole life. There could be a magic pill that you give to somebody, and it just takes it all away. There's no withdrawal. You just take it all away. It just stops. It still doesn't mean you're going to keep away from it, because you've got to find something else to occupy your mind. And that's the thing with addiction. People who are addicts are quite clever. And one of the reasons that they have got an addictive personality is because they always need their brain challenging. You can Google that. It's a fact. But if you sort of listen to these series of uploads, give you a little bit of an insight in what to look for. I'm always sort of covering little bits on my channel on the Flying High Living Low on YouTube. So fly over there, subscribe. You'll not miss another upload on things like this. There's also videos about prison. If you've got a loved one who's sort of going to prison, or you're yourself is facing prison for the first time, there'll be videos on there. Sex industry is a very big one that I'm into, because obviously I am somebody who's in the sex industry myself. And the next episode, the series that we're going to do, is about the sex industry. And it's not sort of a follow on every time. It's sort of like, a short episode, one sort of podcast, sort of per video. And we're just going to cover things like, safety tips, different places where, there is to work, advertising, if you get into it for the first time, your do's and your don'ts, and we're going to do the pros and cons, and, have you actually thought of everything if you are wanting to get into it? Because, the cost of living is driving people to the sex industry quite a lot at the minute. So, I thought I'll do a few uploads on that. So, guys, thank you for sticking with me and waiting around for this final episode. And, don't forget to like it or whatever you do on podcasts. But fly over to YouTube and subscribe to me. It really would help me. So, goodbye.